This is the current situation in Uganda. The nation is crippled by violence and deepening crisis just 2 days after the January 15 general elections, as President Yoweri Museveni, in power since 1986, surges toward a landslide victory amid widespread allegations of fraud, internet blackouts, and brutal crackdowns on opposition supporters. Early results from the Electoral Commission show Museveni commanding around 76% of the vote from nearly half the polling stations, while his main challenger, pop star turned politician Bobi Wine of the National Unity Platform, trails far behind at under 20%. Bobi Wine has repeatedly denounced the process as riddled with massive ballot stuffing, voter intimidation, and irregularities, especially under the nationwide internet shutdown imposed days before voting to curb what authorities called misinformation.
The coming hours and the coming days are clearly not going to be easy, with the military taking over the election, with our agents being arrested all over the country, especially in northern and western Uganda, with soldiers, military officers taking over as presiding officers on polling stations throughout Entebbe and many other districts. We know that people are going to vote massively, and people are voting for change, but we also know that it's an effort to rig the election. The rest of the matters are in your hands, fellow Ugandans. We know that even in the coming hours, we might be under house arrest. But we've told you incessantly for the last 3 months and 2 weeks that everybody can be a leader, everybody can be a Kyagulanyi. Don't allow them to twist you just because they arrest your leaders. You can take charge, because everybody equally wants change.
Protests have erupted in several areas, including Kampala and other strongholds, with demonstrators rejecting the preliminary tallies and demanding accountability. Security forces have responded with tear gas, rubber bullets, and live ammunition in some cases, while heavy military presence continues in urban centers to prevent further escalation. In a dramatic development, Bobi Wine's party reported that he was forcibly taken away by the army from his home on Friday and flown to an unknown location, effectively an abduction according to supporters, following earlier house arrest claims when military surrounded his residence on election day. Police have denied any arrest, insisting he remains safely at home under protection.
I would like to issue a statement on behalf of Uganda Police Force in respect to allegations that are making rounds on some media spaces, and they have also found their way to other communities that have access to social media platforms, especially outside our jurisdiction. The allegations are being made that Mr. Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, who is a presidential candidate, that he has been arrested and taken to, if you can have this phone, and that he has been taken to an unknown location. Some of these allegations are being paraded by his family members. What I would like to say is these are deceitful and insightful allegations intended to depict the security agencies of Uganda as brutal and violators of rights of a political candidate.
But the conflicting statements have only heightened fears of repression. The campaign itself was marked by violence, arbitrary arrests of opposition supporters, restriction on Bobi Wine's movement, with rights groups like the UN and Amnesty International condemning a climate of intimidation and impunity. International observers have flagged concerns over transparency, while neighbors like Kenya have issued travel alerts due to border disruptions and security risks.
As we hold our general elections in Uganda, the world should be reminded that we're holding elections in the dark. The internet has been switched off across the country. This is done in order to facilitate the intended rigging of the regime. Otherwise, why would the people of Uganda be denied the right to communicate, and why the Ugandan election should be held in the dark?
As vote counting continues toward a final declaration expected soon, Uganda stands on the edge of broader unrest. The opposition calls for peaceful resistance and justice, while the government maintains the process was secure and warns against anarchy. The world watches closely as these pivotal moments test whether 4 decades of Museveni's rule will extend unchallenged or spark a tipping point for change.
We have Ugandans that have voted, and this is their right to choose a leader. So I don't know, the international community, what can they do for us? Because us Ugandans, we have tried to fight. We have come out and voted, and we have requested without violence.
This is protesting vote.